Peace. What it is. Man, I'm tired of motherfucker. But I'm riding, so I feel like doing a video. I was talking to a sister on Google Plus. I know all my videos started Google Plus. I was or Twitter or some shit. I was talking to her anyway. And she asked me a question about something. Well, I made a comment about something. And she asked me about the blue bonnets in Texas. You know, I seen she put something up with blue bonnets. So I said something. And she was like, oh, school me on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you know something. I'm like, oh, okay, well, shit, just whatever. I told her whatever I was, whatever, blah, 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 blah. All right. Y'all see the hairnet. I'm at work like my. All right, so, like, you know what I'm saying? Hold on. I like, goddamn, them hoes ain't paying me for that shit, so, I wear that shit because I got to get paid, but they ain't paying for my video. Anyway, so, you know what I'm saying, I was like, whatever, and then I asked her, what'd I say? What, man, I don't, oh, my point about the blue bonnets was that, all right, my people in Texas, y'all know the blue bonnets just show up around, right around Easter, like every year. They just kind of pop up out of nowhere. Well, the beginning of the astrological year is March 22nd or March 21st, one of them. That's when Aries starts. All right, from here on out, next year, you're gonna see they always come up right when Aries starts, or either right when that first full moon of Aries. Watch, you'll see. So that was my point. You know what I'm saying? And then I was just, I was asking, have you ever, looked at your birth chart? And she was like, yeah, I have. And but I don't mess with it no more. And she got like a Hebrew Israelite name on Google Plus. So, I already knew. I was like, no, like, I hope it's not because, God don't like astrology. And she was like, yeah, that's why. And I'm like, come on. I'm like, God damn it, here we go. So this video right here was my, two things. For one, I done already done a video. I done a few videos about astrology. And the reason why I harp so personally, why I personally know that astrology and things like numerology is very, very, very important, because they give you somewhere to start. They give you a foundation on which you to build. You understand what I'm saying? You right now, you think that, well, the average person just think that they may be whatever little sign they is. And, they think that they may, think like that sometimes or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But they don't think it's important. But, you basically think that, you here, you need to go get a job, and you need to provide for your family and try to make money or whatever. You get your birth chart, and it's going to tell you what you naturally good at, what you naturally not good at, what you need to learn. You know what I'm saying? You can, oh man, you get your life on paper. You understand what I'm saying? And it's nothing you can just, and I know people don't really be studying this, because you'll ask them, and they'll say, oh yeah, I did that, a while ago, and like it was just something to do, oh yeah, I did that, this little novelty type of thing. And it's not like that. This is a life study. This is a study guide for life. Every day you should be looking at your birth chart and looking at what where the planets are. This is what truly knowing thyself is. Your birth chart is thyself on paper. You can read why you so goddamn retarded. You know what I mean? So I know motherfuckers don't really be looking into it. But me, I always say, you need to self-study. You don't need to be, listening to this or that and the third. Or, you don't need to be listening to nobody, blindly following nobody, the Bible included. You know what I mean? You need to know what you're reading. You need to study, and you need to study self. Once you know thyself, and then you know all, because it's as within, so without. Now, this, this video, I'm going to give you a way in which you can, start your self-journey, your self-study, because, you'll give people their birth chart and they don't really understand what none of it means. So they just kind of, oh, cool, damn, that's crazy. And some of them read it, and even when you read it, and even if you read the whole thing, which I would imagine most people, well, the few people I've given them to, they don't. But you know what I'm saying? I would say you don't, because you can't read it the whole thing and then just dismiss it, because you got 10 or 15 pages of paper all about you. Like, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's gonna intrigue any mind, right, about themselves. So, okay, this is what you can do. Okay, and for one, my 2 points was, for one, the Bible don't really say that, man. It says don't listen to them fortune tellers and them astrology readers, because once you get to a certain point in your consciousness, where the planets is and all that becomes irrelevant, because the planets are helpers. They are lower gods or lower energies or what have you. You understand what I'm saying? You really are the 13th one above all that. The 12 zodiac signs, and then the 13th, you the 13th. All right, so that's why it tells you that in the Bible. But that's a level in which you got to get to where you don't deal with none of that. You understand what I'm saying? To where you don't need to know where, if the moon is this or the moon is that, because that shit don't affect you. You've risen above your emotions, like Jesus. You walked on top of the waters. You understand what I'm saying? Waters being your emotions. You feel me? So that means your lower self, which is ruled by the zodiac, it doesn't rule you. Therefore, it's not important. I mean, you don't need to know the study of it and things of that nature if you've risen above it. But the only way to rise above it is to know it. You know what I'm saying? So you have to study the astrology to become better and stronger and not need the astrology. You feel me? Right now, you operating off one planet and one sign, and you think that's what your whole self is. So you missing all your other self. Like I was gonna say, you missing 6 other planets, but that's not right. You missing 9 other planets, but that's not right, because what about the asteroids, and then the nodes, and then he said the houses, and then the signs. So you see what I'm saying? You operating off one aspect of your whole chart, and that's just the sun, your sun sign. You're a Gemini because that's what the sun was when you was born. Your birth chart is gonna tell you what everything else is. Where the moon was, where Mercury was, where Mars was. All of these things have an effect on you, just like the sun does. You see, I mean, if it was just bullshit, then why are you a Taurus, or why are you a Virgo? You understand what I'm saying? And why that shit be matching, descriptions be matching you, but it ain't always exact. It's always some of the extra shit you like, oh no, that ain't me, or I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? That's because you got 9 other planets you ain't paying attention to. You understand what I'm saying? Now, so this what you do: Google birth chart, or either natal chart, really birth chart, and then the site that's gonna come up is Cafe Astrology. That's the easiest one. Go there, you put in your time, birthday, blah, blah, blah. It's going to punch up all that shit. Now, it's going to give you 10 or 15. Now, if you know the time you was born, you're going to get even more information. But it's going to give you 10 or 15 pages, 10 or 15 pages worth. And if you got the time, it's going to give you about 20 pages worth of information about you, just based on the time and place you were born at. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's going to be a lot of information. It's going to be overwhelming. You're not going to understand it out top. But this is what you do. At the top, it's going to give you a chart, and it's going to say Sun in Gemini, Moon in Taurus, Mercury in Libra, Venus in Scorpio, Mars in Aries, Jupiter in Sagittarius, all the way down to Pluto, right? Now, what you do is you just look at that little, you ain't even got to go down and read the whole thing, even though you should. But you don't even have to. You can just look at that and then Google Mercury in Libra. And then you're going to get about 10 pages pop up with just definitions of how people act when Mercury is in Libra, when they have their Mercury in Libra. Then you Google Venus in Taurus, or wherever it is in your chart. It'll tell you. And then they'll say, why all this and why all that, why Venus is act like that, and blah, blah, blah. And then you start to understand how all these planets are within you. And then you start to understand yourself. My point in that, when my story earlier, which I just realized now that I got off track, was the sister, she was willing to accept the information about flowers and shit, but she wasn't, but when I talk about astrology and the studying of self, I mean, the conversation kind of ended. You know, like we afraid of ourselves. Like we don't want to get and find out why we are like we. And that's the problem. Know thyself. How do you know thyself? With your birth chart. It's the cheat sheet. Not even that, man. Like it's your textbook to life, and you don't know it, and that's why black folks running around this bitch don't know nothing from nothing. Because we do not have our chart that we came down here with. Everything happens for a reason. So anyway, I go back to work. I don't know. I hope it came out right. Peace and love. Take it easy.